I mean, to me, if you study the cosmology of V5, that's all you need to realize that you can kind of shift and shape how you need to be. Once I read that Oduduwa was the progenitor of the Yoruba people, once I read that life started at Ile Ife, I realized, oh, this whole thing revolves around the Yoruba people. And I'm not mad at it because, what we call Ifa, they created. It's their thing. It wasn't intended to be something that was practiced around the world, right? As far as when they were creating it. The only traditions that were created that way are, if you look at history, are vehicles of war. Now, I'll just throw that out there and, you kind of play with that how you want to. But if you go back through world history, you can't actually get away from that. But yeah, once I read that, I was like, oh yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, the life started in Ohio. That's where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? That's how we doing it. But yeah, no, like you said, things. I've watched our Luo do something, and then 2 weeks later do the same thing differently.
Very differently, right?
And I was like, yo, Bob, I thought after you did this, then you did that. Yeah, sometimes. I said, oh, just sometimes? Yeah. You know, you got to find your rhythm. He always say that. You got to find your own rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I since we watched him all the time, we'll see the shift in the change. Like, oh, he don't do that no more. And guess what? What he does work the same way that it worked when he was doing it the other way. Them readings still gonna hit.
Right.
Them rituals still gonna hit. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? You still gonna get that job. You still gonna get that person off your back. You're gonna still, shake them haters off. Whatever it is, called on him to do, it's still gonna hit like it did the last time. Right. So brings me to one of the biggest things to me that keep your eyes on your own mat means. Because Baba always says things have two or more meanings. And this is something that he made mention of because we were with him over the weekend and we asked him, what does it mean to him? Because we see how it's used widely. So we did a little poll and we asked priests, aborigines, the whole nine. So we asked our Aluo, and then he reminded us of, again, that story that Oseun shared, that when his Aluo passed and he went back and, his Aluo was very well known and they go from village to village for divination and things of that nature, and how everybody was doing it different and nobody batted an eye. Nobody said, hey, that ain't how you do that. Everybody just accepted the fact that there was differences. But he said, one of the important things when you think of keep your eyes on your own mat, it means to be focused on your daily practice is. How is it that you interact with spirit? How are you interacting with your aura, your higher self? How are you growing and getting better? How are you putting the time in to study or not? Are you putting the time into your craft? How are you perfecting your craft? Things of that nature. And that for me really hit home. That really hit home. I was like, yeah, I like that. I like that. That saying, keep your eyes on your own mat, has devolved as we have devolved. However, if we go back to what it was meant to be and how we were meant to look at it, it'll always it'll get you centered, right?